I mean, that was kind of close to like 9 o'clock. Like it was. Oh, I gotta switch my background. Excuse me. Mike Puma is on this call, as you can see right here.
Just have an idol to him on the top shelf.
Yeah, let me get rid of that. Sorry about that. Oh, what about this one? Oh, that's way too much yellow. Oh, so what's going on, big
Good
guy? How are
morning,
you?
everybody.
How you doing? Jeff should be in here in a few.
Happy Monday. How are we doing today?
Ooh, fantastic. How's your weekend?
Outstanding. We
Almost
had a good
birthday girl.
weekend.
Did your birthday girl have a good day?
Yeah. My daughter had her 11th birthday, so we got to have some fun and do some stuff with 11-year-olds, which is always fun. It reminds you to be a kid and have some fun, right?
Hey, we all need to act like an 11-year-old at some point. I'm just saying. I'm
Well,
just gonna
actually,
throw it out
I
there.
think yours and my excuse is somebody needs to come along and teach us how to act like 40-year-olds again.
Yeah. Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. So anyway, so good weekend, rainy weekend. It's kind of nice. Not gonna lie. My
Yeah, so
grass.
how's everybody's weekend business wise? So give me some input from anybody who's online. If you had a busy weekend, a slow weekend, lots of showings for buyers, showings for listings, slow, busy open house, slow open house. Just kind of throw some things in there. Tell me about your weekend of work, and if you're seeing activity pick up, if you're seeing activity slow down, where you're located. Just kind of give me some feedback on what's going on. We'll kind of see what's happening with everybody. Busy, two more listings nonstop. Good. So just keep chatting in. Show us what you got going on over this past weekend. As you see, rates have been slowly dropping, so they keep coming down. So it's like rates have come down again for like it's been like 4 weeks in a row. They just keep trickling down. We haven't even got to a Fed rate decision yet, and rates are already coming down in preparation. So this is there's all people say it's volatility. Well, volatility isn't always bad. Volatility just means there are drastic changes that are happening up and down, and we're just riding these markets as things shift and change. So I'm sure I've told you my philosophy before. I think things shift and change, I think it takes people at least 30 days, but typically up to 60 to 90 days to really make that mental adjustment and get back into the market after something happens. So rates have dropped down probably about 0.5% in the last 3 to 4 weeks, and they'll probably continue to trickle down even more. And it's going to take buyers. They're already seeing buyers jump out now. We're already seeing buyers jump into the market right now, but it's going to take them probably another 30 to 60 days before they really create that habit. It takes them 30 days to get used to this change, right? So they see these rates trickling down. They see that there's a Fed rate that's imminent, a change that's imminent on the horizon. So it's going to take them about 30 days to really adjust mentally to that. And then the next 30 to 60 days is going to be their preparation time where they're getting with their lenders, they're talking with their husbands, their wives, their family about getting their house ready, getting their maybe looking for a house. They've been searching on Zillow. And then that 60 to 90 days, this is for the people who are like ready in the market right now, that 60 to 90 days, they're going to be getting very active. So what that means for us is what we've been telling you is we need to be preparing now. We need to be having these conversations now. If we know that in 30 days from now, over this next 30 days, our buyers and sellers are mentally going to be preparing themselves for this decision in the next 30 days, we need to be getting ready now. And if we know that in 30 to 60 days, they're going to start the preparation because now they're out of their own heads, they're ready to make a decision. 30 to 60 days, they start taking steps. We already need to be that person they're communicating with, getting the pre-approvals, talking about what's going on in the market, being a valuable resource to them. So this is why we were talking about boom prep. It's not just the Fed rates. It's we're already seeing rates come down. So we're already seeing buyers and sellers start taking different action. Then the Fed rates will kick in, and by the end of this year, you are going to see some things that are just completely blow your mind compared to the last 2 to 3 months. We missed a spring and summer selling season. Do you think that the buyers and sellers missed it too? Yes. They absolutely missed that spring and summer selling season. So whenever it comes back around, they're going to be ready to pop, and you need to be ready there with them. So what else we got going on? We had made some rainy day videos. Lenders saying rates went up a little bit with the rumor of a decrease. We've seen the rates have trickled down again. We just had like the next 4 weeks in a row, rates have come down. Productive with buyers showing homes, adding showcase to a current listing. The keys is very slow with prices dropping. Great open house this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We had one person Friday, one Saturday, five on Sunday. Two very, very interested buyers. Open houses this weekend and got signs stolen on Sunday, four signs stolen. Buyers sitting on the fence are seeing, I'm not lying about more folks jumping in as rates are trickling down and getting concessions now while they can. We had good open houses this weekend too, even with the rain. So overall, that's a lot of positivity of what people are giving feedback on. Pensacola area wrote two contracts this weekend. So we're not lying to you. We're not making stuff up. We're really just trying to get you prepared. We really got to get our mindset, motivation, skills, action, accountability, whichever one that you need that most help on. This is where the biggest impact is going to come from. Good morning, Mr. Beggins.
Well, good morning, good morning, morning, morning. I'll tell you what, I love hearing all this stuff, man, and reading all this but it does no good unless we tell people about it, right? Because like we talk about all the time, is we have to control the narrative. We are the media. It's called what? So it's called social
Media.
media, right?
It's really
For
social
a reason.
marketing.
That's right. And you become the trusted news source, right? You're an expert, you're licensed to handle the largest financial transaction in most people's lives. You're with the largest real estate brand in the entire planet Earth, the longest longevity wise, most trusted brand name in the entire planet, with a company that's been around. I don't even think there's another real estate company that's been around as long as we have in our regions, right? And we've got the trust, we've got the experience, we've got the know-how, we've got the brand, we've got the attention and the credibility. When we speak, it comes just not a wild idea, right? We know what we're talking about. So when we actually control that narrative and we actually are the media source, people will listen, right? That's the beautiful part about this, guys, because when people say it's coming, right? When you say it's coming, it means it's coming, right? Because you're not going to bullshit people because what good does that do us? It doesn't, if I say something that's not true, I blow all my credibility, you're never going to trust me again, right? So when I can back it up and say, hey, look, this is what's going on. Rates are coming down. Chairman Powell said it's time we're going to change our course of actions. That's a quote. Post it, talk about it, and say, okay, what's going to happen when, right? These next 90 days, like we keep talking about, is pivotal for your entire life, right? If we get, that's why we're doing what we're doing, guys, is this is a boom prep for a reason. The next 90 days will set up your entire future. What if, right? Imagine for a second, if you will, that what we're talking about is true, right? And we have no benefit from telling you something that's not true. So let's just assume that it is, and you actually sharpen up your NLP skills, you sharpen up your delivery, you sharpen up your mindset, you sharpen up your fired up, you get up early, you're getting motivated, you're getting your scripts done, you're opening up Beggins University, you're doing your script role plays, right? Your intensity is cranking up, you're polishing your presentation, your moxie's on point, right? You know how to do it. You're practicing CMAs, you're going in the dot loop, writing fake contracts, right? You're just practicing and getting on point, right? You are ready. And then let's just assume you do that. And then you start posting the narrative. And the people are saying, well, shit, they had that many open houses and they're different. The open houses are markedly different than they were a month ago. Interesting. Now imagine they start seeing 10 or 15 social proof examples of that, right? Then they watch the news because that's their trusted source, wherever that may be. And it's congruent with your news, right? Now you are congruent, and now you become the trust. Now you become the person. Now who's going to be in front of them? If they watch the nightly news at 6 o'clock, right? That's one little source. But what if you post three things a day then talking about the industry and they see that? You're now three times more in their face than somebody else, and you are congruent, you're the message, right? So guys, this next 90 days is it, right? We have to get ready. And we are, as a management team, a leadership team, reaching out to every single one of you to find out, really, you want to know what we're doing? Who's ready, right? Who is mentally wants to be in this party, because we need to spend our time with those of you who are saying, I'm in, coach, right? Put me in. I'm ready to play. Give me what I need. I will give you the time. You give me the direction. You give me the skills. You give me the focus. Give me some accountability. I want to change my life. I'm going to have a badass trimester. By this New Year's Eve, I'm going to surprise my kids with this, right? By this, I'm going to be debt free. I'm going to have this done. I'm going to save this much for my next investment property. I am ready, right? And some of you are going to say, you know what? I'm not ready. I got shit going on. I'm not going to do it. And we still love you, right? You're just not ready to play this quarter. That's fine, right? We'll put you in the game next when you're ready to play. But this is the time to say who is ready to play, because you're going to require a lot more time, a lot more attention, and a lot more accountability when you're serious. Does that make sense? Right. So that's what we're doing right now. And we're doing it from a management perspective, right? To see which of the managers are fired up to get to another level. And if they're not this quarter, so life's happening, fine. Well, it is what it is. Right. But those of you who are saying, God, I'm going to take this opportunity over the next 90 days to change my life. Right. And you could go get 12 listings, $120,000 by the end of this year extra. I don't care who you are. 120 grand is a lot of money, right? That's change. That's like big time change for every single person. 120 grand. And that's from talking with one person a week with having a reasonable appointment. That's what we're talking about, guys, over this next time. So that's why fired up, right? I'm fired up. We're so ready. Everything is fallen into place. We've got just a couple last points on this one just to build it up. Rates are going to help, mostly from a consumer confidence psychological perspective, because rates are rates, right? If you've got shitty credit and you missed a couple payments, you got some medical bills, your rate sucks anyway. True, right? Not everyone's going to get a great rate, but the psychological message of rates are dropping creates the herd mentality. And once that herd starts moving with comfort, who cares if they end up getting a 6.85 or a 7.25 because they got a couple late payment? They're still happy because it's trending downward and everybody else is saying it's okay to buy. Right? Everybody watching right here, I bet you there's a 3 point interest rate spread with everybody watching on this call because somebody messed up and forgot a payment one time. I've done it, right? It happens. It depends on what happens when you're wherever you are, what you're doing, right? So that's the point. It's psychologically getting ready to go. Plus, we have a ton of people internationally that are fed up with what's going on in their countries. You got a massive millionaire migration going on to the United States right now. You've got people paying $5 million just to become residents. You've got true millionaire migration. It's not a catchphrase. It's huge when you see the charts. The number of people saying, I am tired of being taxed at 60% of my income, so you can put these social projects out there to people that have just walked into our country. That's not a US thing. That's a New York thing, right? You see that all the time. That's some cities, the big cities in the US. A lot of people are saying, I'm not doing this anymore. You're not taking all my money. I'm leaving. I'm moving to Florida, right? You're seeing that internationally. So that doesn't hurt us, does it? So you got the millionaire migration, plus you've got a lot of people making a lot of money in the crypto world right now. And you're probably going to have a huge boom between now and the end of the year. And those that are smart in it are going to take their cash out as they take profits, and they need to put it into deflationary assets. That's going to go into investment properties. I mean, everything's set up. It's perfect. All we need to do is be sharp and be ready. So that's my intro.
And here's the other side of it too. Let's just say that everybody's wrong, the media is wrong, we're wrong, everybody's wrong, but you still take all of these steps and you still sharpen up your mindset, sharpen up your motivation, skills, action, accountability. You sharpen all those things up. You show up for yourself for the first time, second time, third time. However, you just decide you're going to be different than everybody else in this fourth quarter and you show up that way. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to end up with deals anyway because there's still 4 million home sales that happen. We still already have people in the worst real estate market ever that are making two, three, four, $500,000 a year. So if you decided to show up like all of them did, you're just going to create those same kind of opportunities. You're going to create listings. You're going to create buyers. You're going to find the people that are ready to do it now. Because the reality is the buyers that are in this market now, they're probably in a better position than the buyers that are going to be in this market in 60, 90, 120 days. You can get them a better deal now. The rates, you can already get them rates into fives, sometimes even into fours right now. So if you show up for yourself and none of what we're talking about happens, you're still going to be in a 10 times better position and you'll probably still create the outcome that you set out to create. Because all you're doing is putting yourself in front of the people who are looking to buy and sell now and being a valuable resource to them and helping them get to the finish line of where they need to be. That's really the reality of what's going to happen. But we're just taking all of the data, all these little meta points that are out there, putting them all together and saying, this is happening. It's already here. We're just not seeing it from the public's perspective. The public is seeing it from a different perspective. It's already here. There's already these opportunities happening. And we just need to be able to take the bull by the horns right now and start running with it.
I was talking with Jackie Stone the other day, right? She was over here in Madeira working on beachmaker stuff. And she says, man, I've been calling all of my buyers, all of my past clients, and talking them into buying right now, right? Because it's stupid to wait. And I heard her on the phone with people saying it doesn't make any sense to wait until the herd is buying, I can get you a way better deal now than I'll be able to get you in 60 days from now. So if you're even remotely considering buying in the next 12 months and you can right now, it's literally stupid not to. I mean, it's a dumb thing. And guys, you need to repackage this however you want to package it. But that's the message out there. Like if Chris is in my lead and he goes, man, I'm going to wait for rates to drop probably the beginning of the year, first quarter, I'll start looking and we're going to look for a house. I have to say, hey, Chris, with all due respect on this one, can I tell you why I think you're leaving a ton of money on the table? And this is probably not the best thing for you to do. Can I explain? He's going to say, yeah, what are you talking about? I say, well, look, we've got clients right now. We've got sellers that are desperate right now. They're freaking out. They've been on the market for a long time and they didn't get any people at their open house this week, right? They've been on the market for 4 months. They're freaking out, right? What we're able to get for our clients right now is ridiculous. I've got sellers buying their rates down 2%. I got people giving them the furniture. You want the car and the boat and the golf cart and the hot tub too, right? I mean, this is not going to be the opportunity 60 days from now.
Literally, that scenario just happened last week over by us. Furniture, boat, golf cart, all thrown in on a deal, lower, like probably 200,000 lower than where they were at for a list price, just because they're like, look, I just can't do this anymore.
Yep. Yep. And that is
And
not
I'm not making that. That is
that's so
the
funny.
exact deal that just happened that we literally just went through.
And so, but if they waited till January, they would not get the boat, they would not get the golf cart, they would not get the discount.
What's the cocky scale? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like that cockiness just goes up. That
Yeah.
seller's cockiness just goes up because all of a sudden they get 7, 8 buyers come through their open house. All of a sudden they have their agent calling and they've got 2, 3, 4 more showings every other day, every couple days instead of one a week. All of a sudden they see all of the news saying all this stuff. All of a sudden they're just in this position where now their cockiness goes back up.
Yep.
Just what happens.
But if we don't take advantage of this opportunity right now, I think that it's terrible agenting. If we don't actually with a megaphone scream it right now saying, if you're able to buy right now and you're not buying right now, you're an idiot. Right? Say that as nicely as you want to, as strong as you want to, but the message, right? If you can and you're not, it's stupid. It just is. It just is. And there's millions of people on the sidelines from the last 2 years, probably 4 million people that wanted to buy that didn't because they're waiting until somebody gives them the green light. And then there's going to be a ton of people looking at the same time. So wouldn't it be nice for you to let everybody in your ecosystem know that you're here and you've got time for a couple people this week who are actually serious and you can get them through the underwriting process. You can get them with your lenders. You can get them set up on searches. You can make sure if they have a missed medical payment, they can clear that shit up in their credit now, right? This is the time to dust them off, get them spit polished and shined and perfect. And if they're already perfect, go in with that lower offer, right? Go in with that best deal. Get them on single agency, right? Put them on the EBBA. Get serious. And if I got a pre-approved, pre-underwritten buyer that's ready to go and hot and heavy, I might miss my kid's friend's birthday party this weekend, right? Because I'm going to bring in $8,000 into the family, right? That's the type of things that are going on. But I'm stupid if I miss that party for somebody who's just thinking, right? That doesn't make any sense. That's not a good business decision. So this is the time to sharpen up because when you get sharp and people know that you're sharp, you're going to be in demand. And really, how many people can you work with in a week that didn't really give them your attention? What, 2 or 3 maybe to really give them time to show them around? And all we need is one. One good one a week, guys, is 120 grand. So, but you can do 2 or 3 or 4, right? And that's $500,000 a quarter, right? That's where we are, guys. I just want to make sure that you are taking advantage of this one because if you just sit there and watch from the sidelines, you're not going to have anything different in your life. But that's it. Right? So, what are we talking about skill wise right now? What should we be sharpening up, and where are they? What do you think, Jimmy and Chris? Your perspective. What are the three? I'll give you mine in a second. What do you think the three biggest things we should be sharpening up at the moment?
Jimmy, what do you think? What's your number one that you would say?
Well, one thing I think is, are we talking specific skills or are we just talking, I mean,
Anything
because I
really.
think
Any
really
any
mindset
part
is the
of
first thing. The big part
any
is
part of the
mindset.
spectrum.
Anything in your business that you should be spending your time to sharpen up right now? Three things.
Well, one is mindset. Okay.
Okay.
Hands down, if you don't have the mindset, and I'll put that kind of tied together with motivation. Like if we don't have the mindset and motivation to go out and do these things, you're never going to do it. Okay. So definitely something on the lines of that. I think communication skills, like how we're communicating. All right. Because how are we delivering that message to the people that we've already been working with, talking with, and kind of looking through that? And then I would pick one, like I'd pick one piece of technology since I'm a nerd and I put that into everything. I would pick one piece of technology that I am going to just be the best in the world at. So it is going to just deliver the best experience to whoever that might be. So in this
Right.
case, if I'm focusing and I have some buyers that I have that have been on the fence, well, guess what? I am going to get so laser focused on, let's say, my presentation skills and how to communicate and delivering what that looks like for a buyer so they start to understand kind of what's coming, right? If I don't have those communication skills, I can't do that. So
I like
I would say those there.
I like you know, Marcus Lemonis is. Marcus Lemonis has a show called The Prophet where he buys business.
Oh
He
yeah.
buys, all right. So like he's like I like just listening to some of the things. His main focus: people, processes, products. All right. So what is the product that we sell? We sell we sell a dream, right? That's really what we sell. We don't sell real estate, really. We sell that dream. So I like the people and communications. The process is your buyer process, listing process, presentations, and the product. What are we selling? Like that's your motivation. So in my opinion, the product that we're selling is you have to be motivated to be able to show up when nobody else is, nobody else wants to, when it's really difficult, when everything is kind of falling apart around you, which some people could say that's what's happening now, even though that's not the case. So like I think it's people and communications, listing buyer processes to make sure that when you get those appointments, you know exactly what to say, how you say it, when you say it, and you've already built the rapport and connection with them. So they already like you, know you, and trust you. And then product, you got to be motivated. You have to be motivated. You have to have that skill, that mindset to show up when nobody else wants to create that people communication product and create more opportunities. It's just that big cycle that goes around. That's what I think the three biggest things are from my perspective.
I think that's great. I agree with both of you guys. The communication, I mean, I think if you package it, depends on how you think about this one, but I think our package is trust, right? Let's be honest for a second. Someone's going to buy a house with or without us, right?
Yeah.
They're going to sell a house with or without us. If we all got vanished and sucked up by a spaceship right now, right? Bob and Mary are still going to buy a house this weekend because they have a kid, right? So there's nothing magical about us.
And half of them think they don't need us to do it.
Correct.
Right. So like they're going to do it and half of them don't feel like they need us to do it. So really
Correct.
what you're saying.
So what they need is you need to intercept their brain, right? You need to jump in front of a process that's happening anyway, right? Fair enough, right? They're going to go to an open house next weekend, no matter what, because they're thinking about buying a new house and they watched CNBC and it said rates are falling and the buyers are going to start buying in Q4, right? That's enough to make them start up their Zillow search again. And while they're laying in bed, they're going to start looking at houses. True or false, right?
Yep.
Let's be honest, right? And if you don't have a listing, they're never going to find you. And if you do have a listing, they're begrudgingly going to find you because they don't even want you. They want to go see a house. They don't want an agent in the middle. Let's be honest for a second, right? So we're an impediment to the sales process to many people. We're the person in the way that unfortunately need to wait for us to call their asses back to set an appointment to be in the way when all they want to do is run through a house to see if they like it or not. Okay. So if that's true, we need to change that perception, right? We have to show up and get in a little pattern interrupt in their brain and say, if you're considering buying, I need to interview for the job. Here's the value I bring to you, right? And that's the value we need to start doing. And that's going to be people communication skills because the product is trust, right? Do I feel better that by having Chris in my corner, he knows the neighborhoods better than I do, right? He knows the old houses better than I do. He knows the builders that are better than I do. He knows where the values are better, and he knows little micro markets and school districts, and he knows where the parks are, and he knows where the little fishing holes are and the boat ramps and where the churches are better than I do, right? And if he can't convey trust, why do I need him? Right. And trust is, do I like you? Are you good at what you do? And do you care about me? Can I trust you? Are you good at what you do? And do you care about me? Those are the three questions. And those are all answered by communication skills. And
Yep.
if we don't go into neutral, right? If somebody asks me what's the most important skill in the world, it's neutrality, right? It's being able to go into complete neutral and sit there and observe what's going on around you, and then being able to respectfully morph right into their world, right? Respectfully morph into their world because people like people who are like
Like
themselves.
themselves.
People trust people who are like
Like
themselves.
themselves.
So if you can't go into neutral and meet them where they are and guide them through a process they're going to go through anyway, they don't need you. And if you don't have your presentations internalized, you're going to be sitting here wondering what you're going to say next, which means you can't focus on them, which means you can't go into neutral because you're in forward, right? You can't be in neutral and forward at the same time. So you're sitting there in forward trying to think about what am I going to say next? How am I going to sell them on working with me? And you're dead because you didn't go into neutral and realize that they're chilled out and they're using a little bit of hand gestures when they're describing the school district and what they're looking for in a nice area that's blowy, airy, and peaceful and serene, right? You can't even pay attention to the words they're using. You can't even pay attention to what they want, and they're going to ghost right on over you, or they're going to be stuck with you and not enjoy the process, right? And all we have to do is get into neutral, learn how to mirror and match, learn how to connect, learn how to understand, and then say, you know what? I understand where you are, Chris. Let me interview for the job. Here's how I run my business. Take a look at this link, and that's your Moxie, right? This is your bio. This is your Moxie. Is your bio proper? I mean, did you incorporate DIS and C into it? Is there visual, auditory, kinesthetic components to it? If not, use the flipping bio tool that's in Beggins University to write it for you, right? Get the Moxie set up, do that stuff. So that's the point, guys. And so we could be okay without doing all this stuff, but you can't be amazing and you can't be epic and you can't live an epic type of a lifestyle with having mediocre skills that everybody else has. So to me, it's all communication skills. It's
Yep.
neutrality, and it's knowing the systems, the buyer process, the seller process, like internalize. And then all you have to do is pay attention and learn how to respectfully morph into their world, right?
Yep. Yep. That's what we had that happen this weekend. I got a message from one of our agents, and she was talking with a lady who had an expired listing, and she just connected with her. She wasn't asking her for the listing. She wasn't trying to talk to her about the listing or her house. She was really just trying to understand her. And by the end of the conversation, the woman said, she goes, it was a breath of fresh air to talk to you. She was able to just go, and just relax because it wasn't about the business. Everybody else called her about the listing. Everybody else was talking to her about getting her listing and about why it didn't sell and about what did the other agent do. And we can get to that point. I understand that, but your job is to connect with them first. When you connect with them first, it's, can I trust you? Right? Do I like you? Right? Do I like, know, and trust? And we just got through all of that. And she felt very comfortable and she was very grateful for the conversation. So you're going to create more opportunities when you focus on the person. That's why I said the product isn't real estate. We're not talking about listings. We're not talking about buyers. We're not talking about contracts. We're not talking about that. The product is the connection into communication. That's really it. And if you have that people and communication skill, and then you have the process that allows you to forget about what I need to say, how I need to, if you forget about all this because you know it, it's already instilled in you. You don't need to remember this because it's already instilled in you because you practice it so much. Now you just got to focus on the person. And when I focus on the person, we create so much trust that I could nearly tell you anything. You may not like what I have to say. I'll tell you your home is worth $100,000 less than what you thought it was, but you like me, you trust me, and you know me. Even though we haven't been friends a long time, I used my skills to make that connection. And you may not like what I said, but you trust what I said. And then we can at least still proceed forward. Whereas the other guy gets kicked out of the door when they tell them that because they didn't go through the process.
And all of this is super important, but totally doesn't mean anything until you have the motivation that actually means something to you, which is why we're saying it's going to be New Year's Eve before you know it. And what are you going to have accomplished between now and New Year's Eve? And there's 18 business weeks that we have working. Is it 40 grand? Are you going to pay off your MasterCard? Are you going to pay off something? Are you going to buy something? Are you going to put a down payment on something? Are you going to invest in something? Are you going to just build a cushion up? What is it that's going to, are you going to be saving up for your kids' school, college, grandkids, right? What is it that makes you say that puts a big ass smile on my face? When I get these things, I'm going to feel freaking amazing because I did it. It's not hard. We talk with people and we guide them through something they're going to do anyway, right? Let's be realistic. We're lucky as hell. We're way overpaid, right? If you look at it from a simplicity standpoint, right? Let me go hold your hand while you go do something you're going to do without me anyway, right? So now we just have to build the confidence now, and I can argue that's not true. That's a perception because I know I can get somebody way better deal working with me than they can on their own, and they can get a better deal with me than they can work with any other agent. That's a core belief mindset, true, is it not? Right? If
Yes,
you have to
100%.
believe that there's no other agent in your marketplace that they are better in the hands of than you, right?
I say
Period.
that all the time. I feel like if I let you work with somebody else because I didn't do what I was supposed to do to create this rapport and connection to make you trust me, then I did you a disservice by letting you go work with somebody else because I know I'm the best agent for the job to sell your home or to help you buy a home. I'm going to negotiate the best. I'm going to get you, I'm going to understand what your wants, needs, and likes are, and I'm going to know where we're going, how we're going to get there. I'm the best agent for the job, and you truly have to believe that.
Yeah. And if they don't believe it, next. It's a numbers game, guys. You don't need to convince everybody. You just need to, what do we say? One appointment a week for 18 weeks is 120 grand. You don't even have to get that appointment. They could say, you know what? I just don't like you. Or you could say, you know what? I just don't like you. Or your price is stupid, ridiculous. It's never going to happen. Have a great day. Right? It doesn't matter. You just keep moving, follow the process, trust the process, but you have to be prospecting. You need to have numbers working
Yes.
in your favor.
The reality is, what is your job? Your job is connecting and communicating with people. So that's really the only thing you need to schedule every single day. And if you're going to have a certain amount of connections, the reality, you probably only need to schedule 2 hours a day. That's really the only thing you need to schedule. Like
If that.
what other job can you schedule only about 2 hours a day to bring all these people into your business to generate about $120,000 by the end of this trimester, by the end of this year? There's no other job you can do. The rest of it is basically just, it's more like the fun part, going and showing homes. That's the thing. When we interview people, what's one of the number one things they tell us they got into this business
Like
for?
showing
I
houses.
love
Gosh.
homes. I love architecture and the houses are so pretty and I just want to help people buy the house. Okay, well that's the byproduct of scheduling 2 hours a day to talk to people for the next however long it's going to take to generate that one appointment per week to end up with 100 and some thousand dollars by the end of the year. That's really, we need to change our focus, our mindset. Our job is not showing homes, going on presentations and doing it. Our job is to schedule probably 2 hours a day, depends on what your goals are, but let's just say 2 hours a day to connect and communicate with more people than anybody else that is in our neighborhood, in our market, in or around us. And if you only want to do an extra $20,000 at the end of the year, that's fine. You can have to do less. If you want to do more than 120, you probably got to schedule a little bit more, but 2 hours a day, that's your job. So when do you schedule your 2 hours a day that you're going to talk to your 10, 15, 20 people every single day?
That's it, guys. It's that simple. It's that simple. So notice what your manager sent you, the agent boom prep form, right? That you guys all have. So it needs you guys to get in that and start really being honest with yourself about what skills do we need to focus in on. What is our big number one goal, income goal by the end of this year, by New Year's Eve? And what are the three things we're going to accomplish with that income? And then we're going to be able to collectively work with you to figure out what's the path of least resistance that you're going to be able to go to talk with people to make sure that you crush that goal. And we're not
Every
going to let
single
you make it more difficult than that. We're just not going to let you do it.
Yeah. Every single one of you should have an email from your manager. Every single one of you should have an email from your manager, from your regional president. You all should have received a link and it should be embedded in that email somewhere. So some of you
Yep.
got an email with some info before that and a link to sign to click and sign up and tell us what you're after, what you need, what do you want, what is our goal, and how often do you want us to be integrated with you for accountability. So every
Yep.
single one of you has it. If for some reason you don't have it, please reach out to your manager, send them an email and ask them to resend you the link so that you can schedule your summary of what your third trimester of this year is going to look like at the end of this year.
Right. And we're going to be relentless and you will not be able to hide from us. Right. Because we care about you guys a lot. And we want to make sure that you're going to have a big ass smile on your face. And the only way to do that is to know what's going to put that there. Right. So keep an eye
Autumn,
out.
the email probably would have been sent out near the end of last week. And it said if for some reason you did not get it, like I said, just reach out to your manager, regional president, just reach out and ask them to send you that link.
Yep.
And one or two of them may not have sent it out until this morning. Might have been waiting for this meeting just so we have
That's
this
right.
reminder and they'll send it out. So just make sure you reach out to them. The email might be named differently depending on which manager sent it out. So please, if you do not have it, just send them an email. They will easily resend it to you. Not an
That's
issue.
right. Awesome. Well, good. Well, we ran over time because we can't help it because we get a little bit passionate about this, as you guys can't tell. So
Happy Monday.
beautiful. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Make it a great week.